Hello class 10. Today I am resuming from chapter absorption from the portion of guttation. Okay. Now what is this guttation? It is the drop of water along leaf margin due to excessive root pressure. This is the definition of guttation. Now sometimes you see tiny droplets of water along the margins and we feel that those are nothing but the dew drops, but actually those are not dew drops always. In certain plants like tomato, grass, banana or ferns, the root pressure is high enough to force the water all the way through the stem and comes out through the ends of leaf veins. This water appears as tiny drops along the margins or the tips of the leaves, especially in the early mornings. This loss of excessive water is called guttation. So, guttation is actually the effect of excessive root pressure. Clear? Now students, you see this diagram. This diagram is important for your boards. So please practice this diagram and see its labelings. Clear? Hopefully this will not come for your drawing, but it may come for your labelings and contextual questions. Now see this setup. Now in this setup, it is an experiment to show that roots absorb water. Now we have taken two test tubes, A and B, right? Now pull out a young leafy plant from the soil with its roots intact. As you can see in the picture, we have taken a twig which is with the root system. Insert the roots into the test tube soon. Put a few drops of oil in the test tube to prevent any loss of water by evaporation. Here also you can see very clearly that we have poured oil over it to prevent any kind of evaporation. Mark the level of water. Set up a similar test tube B but without a plant. That means that is a control setup. You will find that the level of water in the test tube A falls but not in the test tube B, proving that water lost in test tube A was absorbed by the roots. Because we have taken oil, so that means no evaporation from outside. Whatever water loss is occurring, it is occurring because of the absorption by the roots. Clear? Next experiment is to show that water is conducted upwards through the xylem. Here a medium-sized young balsam plant is uprooted, washed and placed in a beaker containing a stain eosin solution in water. Eosin solution is pinkish or reddish in color. The roots should be completely submerged. This setup is kept aside for 3 to 4 hours. At the end of this period, the plant is taken out of the solution and washed in tap water. Then a transverse section of the root, stem and leaves is made and examined. The xylem vessels will appear distinct from the rest because these will be stained red by the dye. Now I'll show you the diagram. Now see, this is the diagram. Here you can see in the beaker eosin solution reddish in color, and after some time when we are taking the transverse section from all the parts like leaf, stem and root, we are seeing the distinct parts have only stained red. Those parts are actually the xylem tissue. As you can see, it is marked very clearly, xylem tissue stained pink. Only the xylem vessels are stained pink. That means xylem is responsible for the conduction of water. No other parts are playing its role here. I hope it's clear. Now third experiment, conduction of water through xylem again, but in a different way. Take two leafy shoots which have been cut under water to prevent any air bubbles getting in. Keep their lower ends dipping in water. Remove about 3 cm long outer ring. Outer ring means phloem. I'll show you in the diagram. Of the stem in one of them, keeping the central part intact. In the other beaker B, remove an equal length of the central part, that is xylem. Outer part is phloem and inner part is xylem. Just remember this. After incising the stem for full thickness and keeping the peripheral part intact, The shoots are then fixed to stands and are allowed to remain for about 2 days with their lower ends immersed in water. It will be found that the leaves in the first week remain turgid and stand out almost normally, but those in the second twig get wilted and droop down. The experiment proves that water is conducted upwards in a plant through a deeper part, that is xylem. Deeper part means the central part. Now let's see the diagram, it will be clear to you. See, this is the diagram. As you can see, xylem kept intact, and here in the second one, phloem kept intact, and we can see the part where xylem has been kept intact, the leaves are standing erect. But here, when the phloem is there but no xylem is there, then we can see the leaves have drooped down. That means water is conducted only through xylem and not the phloem. It is a very clear experiment, right? Please go through the diagrams properly, because you will be given diagrams in your boards and you have to answer the questions. You have to identify the experiments, the aim of the experiments. So please go through the diagram properly. I am telling you repeatedly. Number 4, to show that food from the leaves is conducted downwards through the phloem in the stem. Cut a ring around the stem of a healthy potted plant deep enough to penetrate the phloem and cambium, but not the xylem. It will be seen that sap starts oozing out from the farther cut margin of the stem. They are showing thereby that sap in the peripheral parts flows in a downward direction. After some weeks, it will be observed that the part of the stem above the ring has grown in diameter, and the stem below the girdle has stopped growing and may even die when the stored organic contents of the lower part are exhausted. The fresh, healthy condition of the leaves in this experiment also proves that the leaves continue to get a supply of water through the deeper located xylem. Now let's see the diagram, it will be more clearer. Okay, now one thing students, I want to say you that if suppose you are finding the experiment to be difficult to remember, because maybe the language is difficult for you to understand, you please make sure that when you are writing the answer in your own, you don't have to apply so much of language, point wise you can go through the experiment. If you understand the experiment properly, then you can write it on your own, in your own language. So that is not a problem. The problem is you have to keep all the key points in your answer, okay, so that you can prove the basic point. Okay, now in this diagram you see number B, the start and the end. At the end, what we can see, the part just above the girdled part has swollen up. Why? Because it is swollen with the accumulated food which was coming from upper direction, right? Because here we already know that the inner part is the xylem and the outer part is the phloem. So definitely xylem is intact, we have done whatever we want to do with the phloem, and because in middle the phloem has been removed, the food cannot be conducted downwards. That is why all the food which was traveling from upper direction, that has accumulated at the portion which is the last portion of the upper part. Okay, that is why it is swollen up. Clear? So this diagram is very important and as well as very easy kind of experiment also. Clear? Now I have given you the syllabus for your upcoming exam, so please get it. I have just now uploaded it, okay, and go through your chapter. If you have any problem you can ask me, okay students, and go through your experiments, diagrams and definitions. Thank you.